as we head straight into the preparations for this round 6. You know, we could blame production for this. We could blame production for picking a Kaiser mirror match. Out of 2,000 players, there was no other matchup.
They better be on full win streak. I've seen some decks now running 2 times, and just the side deck is full against Aura. Basically, it's like, okay, I'm gonna run everything against every other deck in my main deck, and my side deck is completely against Aura.
Okay.
So they literally just accept to drop the first game against Aura and try to get the 2 other ones. I don't know.
Okay.
Or get lucky. Yeah.
I could respect that. Aurora is the big menace in the meta, so you got to do what you got to do with that sideboard. But it looks like we have a slight exact mirror match. The only difference being one of those Kaisas is the alternate version, and that alternate version will be on the play. So I always tend to lean towards the play Kaisa. A lot of late game cards right now. I think I saw 1 or 2 a Cathian Rain and a Time Warp in hand. So not the most ideal hand for that Kaisa.
Yeah, let's see what she can do. She's gonna pull her in lieu of herself. Of her own.
Yeah, kind of mirror match indeed. Both of these guys playing out a Ravenbloom student. Okay, and another very high staple card that Darius coming in. You have the Falling Stars, but it is way too early to get out. You want to make sure you maximize that value.
This turn is gonna be so bad. You can just use the X-Tech Ray. What is he gonna do? Yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe this is the strategy with start tip peak. Maybe Ravenblooms is the tech. Ravenblooms to hold, but you don't have things like Ari or Master Yi have, right? They don't have any defensive increased might. That's the strange thing about it.
Oh, weird. Like, okay, I'm playing Ari and someone playing against the Kaisa that puts a starting pick, and I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for this gift.
Right. I mean, at least Dreaming Tree is going to be benefiting both of them, so at least he can benefit off that battlefield as well. But not too bad having to go and deploy the champion Kaisa Survivor so far. Let's see if they're going to have a true mirror match, and she's going to follow up with her own Kaisa Survivor. But I haven't been able to see her whole hand. I think they both have Time Warp in their hand. There is a Stupefy. Looks like a Retreat and a Yordle. I think I saw some Cleaves as well. Or are those Void Seekers? They might be Void Seekers. And I'm wondering what she's thinking so hard about, because it's so early in the game. I mean, I know there's some good decisions. Oh, there it is. So toe
that
for
was just
toe.
the play was no. What?
Well, the other Kaiser was tapped out.
Okay, that's why I didn't see. I thought he still had all of his runes up. Okay, my bad.
Okay, I take it back. That was actually a little bit of a thoughtful play. You want to make sure there was no outs for that Ravenblue student. And it looks like with Kaisa on the opposing side being completely exhausted on runes, it was the perfect opportunity to give your own Kaisa accelerate, conquering Star Tip Peak, and now conquering Dreaming Tree, going up to 2 points. So this girl, I wish I knew her name so I didn't have to call her girl. I'll call her... Oh man, I don't even want to say anything. We'll just say Kaisa.
Her name is Kaisa, so let's just say someone. Who was it? Waito told us that the nicknames is Kaisa, so let's just call Kaisa versus Goat.
Okay, fair enough. Going with the offensive, getting the Darius off with the cleave, so we'll be triggering as the secondary card played, getting the +7, make that +10, or not +10, but up to 10 total might. So you're able to take down, exactly. So going and taking down the opposing champion, not too bad. They're going toe to toe, just like a true mirror match tends to play out.
Yeah, and Kaisa versus Kaisa is often like the person who starts has such an edge, I think. How many runes? She's working only with 5 runes.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 6 now, because look at, they update the runes below the below the legends.
Okay, so she's... Sorry, but I would probably just, develop and yeah, that's it. And you're praying that you don't get Falling Star. Oh no, oh, she's got that. Okay, not bad, not bad.
That works out. So like we kind of predicted here, a true mirror match, 1 for 1. I play a Ravenbloom, I play a Kai'Sa, I play a Darius, back to back to back, the exact same plays. So no one getting a true advantage. But now let's see if one of these guys ends up running out of answers, because they have so many answers in terms of accelerated units. Eventually they're going to run out. But you know what we haven't seen so far, Leroy? We haven't seen any spells, so I'm assuming they're roaming in the hand somewhere. Things like the Falling Stars.
He's got a Falling Star. He's got a Falling Star, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just gonna Falling Star Darius.
I think it's time. Let's see. It's a Sentry, so I don't think Goat has the Falling Star. I see a Void Seeker. I'm pretty sure that was.
No, that's the Falling Star.
It is. You're so right.
Yeah.
There we go. Falling Stars coming down on the Darius, taking him down with a total of 6 total damage. Unfortunate for Goat though, isn't able to pressure any more battlefields this very turn, so still has the Kai'Sa and the Sentry on the back line. Is at 4, but this leaves a little bit of room for the opposing Kai'Sa to try to get even tempo on points, or even points on even tempo, even points basically with the
what
4.
What was that? Yeah, but if she only got Watcher, I think she's got two Watchers. Because Watcher, you want to use it to like do some damage and conquer some battlefields that are occupied right now. Okay, she's got another Darius, so that's good.
Yeah, that's gonna work out for her. So she's able to conquer here, but I don't know if you want to take care of it just yet. Maybe save it for down the road.
She's gonna go for the Kai'Sa.
I like that play. It was a bit of resource expensive. It cost a lot, but double targets on the Kai'Sa to get ready your Darius. Go to start to peak. And now it's 4-4, so tying things up. So I think this turn from Go is going to be a big deciding turn. Can he at least take away one of these battlefields, or not one of them, but the start to battlefield from the opposing Kai'Sa? Or, because one hold makes a big difference, so you want to make sure you try to take this character out when you can. So do you have something like another accelerate unit? So starting things off simple, throwing the Sentry over to the Dreaming Tree. And we'll see if they have a big spell. It looks like that might have been a Cathian Rain.
Yeah, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's the Watcher. Okay. I counted 7 too.
I thought it was.
Okay, but that's good. That's good because the first one would pulls the Watcher loses.
Is that really the gameplay? And I haven't kept up. Is that I can see that, because it's like Watcher number 2 gets more value than the first Watcher, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The only problem is that he's holding on Dreaming Tree.
So that was a big swing. I like this play. I like so far the turn that Goat had. Very efficient plays, getting up to 6 points. So just one more turn.
She's only at 7.
Yeah, because she had to recycle 2 runes last time.
Yeah, so again, this matchup, you can tech against it.
Oh, the Goat taking game number 1. So quite the speedy game for this best of 3 series in our round 6. Yeah, that is so interesting. It almost feels like these guys are teammates, because to play the same battlefields is quite curious. So I wonder if they played together, or is there just a deck list running around over there in China that has Start Tip Peak as a value battlefield? Because to me and Leroy's eyes, we're just not seeing it. As we keep saying time and time again, Kaiser not known for her holding capabilities. If anyone has some insight, let us know. Why would you like to play Start Tip Peak rather than something like Leroy said, Obelisk of Power? I mean, I'm sure. I guess in those situations that you do hold, it is quite valuable. It makes an impact.
Okay, so full mirror again.
Full mirror. Quite the repeat of game 1 so far going into game 2.
She does just like me, always forget to untap my unit.
And does send it over to the Dreaming Tree. So a little bit of the opposite as we saw. In game 1, Goat decided to send in the Raven Balloon into the Start Tip Peak to try their best to hold it down. But it looks like she's prioritizing the card advantage nice and early. So Cleave simply to use as a draw from the Dreaming Tree. So
yeah, she's gonna cycle it, which I can understand.
okay, I'm hearing from chat. Alan's saying it's an anti-Aurora battlefield, which is interesting because I feel like that battlefield favors Aurora build since they're so much better.
No, because by the time their units arrive,
I know exactly what he means.
One or two, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
okay, so it's an anti-Yi / Aurora. That makes so much more sense because they don't deploy any units early on, so you're gaining so much value, so much tempo from those non-units contesting it. So I can see it. Fair play. Nice.
Alan, are you getting on Riftbound? This guy's a world champion, by the way.
Wow, what game?
The Legends of Runeterra, if I remember correctly.
Nice, I'll have to check him out. Welcome through, Alan. And I would imagine if you play Runeterra, you're going to be a god at Riftbound as well. But it looks like Kaiser going to be deploying that Void Seeker, knocking out the opposing Raven Balloon, and then just trying to develop the board a little further with the Pouty Poro. Completely tapped out, so doesn't have to worry about anything. But granted, there's nothing locking down any battlefields as it stands, so any accelerated units like that Kaiser Survivor could benefit from getting a nice little early draw. Or she's kind of hovering over the Falling Star. Are there two good targets? It looks like there might be, but you're gonna have to play.
No, because that's the Pouty Poro that I was talking about. Makes a lot of difference. You don't want to have to recycle. And see, in the previous game, also, there's maybe a mental part, but in the previous game, she could not use Watcher because she had recycled too much. And I think that maybe that could be a right play, but now she's just thinking about the fact that she did recycle too much.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. She's being very cautious this time around because it costed her the game last game, as you're saying. So she's trying to be a little bit more mindful of how she uses those resources, which you do. That's really what separates you at the highest level, is how you manage those power costs from your cards. So I like this. I think just take the draw. If you have something like Retreat, you could retreat back your Kaiser, draw the one for the Dreaming Tree. So it's not the worst play. Even if a Darius comes your way, it's going to be a Stupefy. Let's see if there's that follow-up, either Kaiser or a Darius to try to contest it. Or at least the Raven Bloom is on the base already, so it does have that potentially.
Yeah.
All right, let's think about it. That is 3 total might versus 3 total might. It looks like she might try to buff it up one more time. So retreat. Is that just to draw? Oh, no. You could retreat your Pouty, right? Yeah, retreat your Pouty. Getting it up to 4. And I'm not seeing a Hextech Ray or a retreat of their own for the female Kaiser player.
Yeah, right now she's just waiting. I think she will retreat. That would make so much sense.
I think I see it. Retreat's definitely in the hand. Actually, I'm seeing both of the cards I just say I didn't see. I'm seeing them now. There is a Hextech Ray and there is a retreat. Looks like they're talking about judges in which order does the chain resolve. So right now retreat is on the chain, targeting the Pouty Poro. Now a retreat of her own, last in, first out. So retreat of hers will be resolving first.
Yeah, and then the Pouty will retreat.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing at the end of the day. So both retreats get played, but one of them was on the Dreaming Tree, so benefiting her a bit better with that draw one.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're talking to the judge. The judge is like, hey, wait a minute, how did you draw? And excuse me, sir, it's right on the Dreaming Tree text. So the retreat did allow the Raven Bloom to conquer at the very least.
Did she channel? I don't think she channeled the...
You're right, I might have missed it. I wasn't paying attention.
I think she did, but they did not just put it on the board.
Oh, Progress Day in the main deck. I usually see that in greedier lists, and the greedy list in Kaiser sometimes does pay out because drawing 4, no matter what deck you are, is so much value. Of course, the only caveat being when you play that card, it tends to be the only card you play that turn, so it gives a lot of tempo loss over to the potential benefit of your opponent.
I don't think you should play it in Kesa because Kesa has already so much draw. Like, you're better off with even a lecturing Yordle. Maybe it draws 1, but you will draw something that will draw. Not only this, but especially in this matchup, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm wondering, because Kaiser's known for her card advantage already. This is just like extra cushion in terms of card draw. Because look at the cards in hand already.
That's way too much.
The spoils.
That's way too much. Right now, the legend that could potentially work with Progress Day is maybe Ari, but you already have so much draw also. I have more draw in my Ari deck than they have in Kesa deck.
Oh, really? Just like disciplines, find your center. What else do you have?
Well, the fact that there are the Stupefy. You've got the Yordle, you've got the Sentry, you've got the Clockwork.
Okay, that is quite already. Just in the cards you said is a lot of draw. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, there's really a lot of draw. Plus, you're playing with the Dreaming Tree. You're playing with the Grove of the God Willow.
Yeah, I could totally see that. It looks like it's a solid deck you got together. Going back to the game a little bit, Goat did manage to retreat their card, triggering the Dreaming Tree, just like the female Kaiser ended up doing a little bit of turns ago, or just the previous turn rather. Still on her turn, she does get the Conquer going up to 3, now deciding what she wants to do with the remaining runes available. Oh, the Falling Star, what are the targets? Because you have... Oh, this doesn't feel good as a Falling Star because you have to double up on a 4 might unit. Oh.
Yeah, and does she not have Execrators? I don't know.
I mean, it's not terrible because Hopeful was the only thing contesting your Kaiser directly.
Yeah, but didn't she have? I think I saw a Void Seeker in her hand, which would have been much better.
Yeah, like hold up the runes and react as an action for the Void Seeker, right?
Yeah.
I like that so much more. Going in with the accelerated Kaiser of her own. Conquering starts at peak unless is there still 3 runes? No, I think there's only 1 rune. It almost looks
No,
like there's
there's
some
one or
behind
two.
it.
I think it's 2.
Okay.
I know. They wrote 1. It's
They
so
wrote
weird.
1, but it looks like there's more than just 1 card.
Yeah.
I think that is.
Yeah.
I think they have it wrong on the screen.
Yeah, they have it wrong on the screen.
Yeah. And honestly, it's a little bit her fault because you shouldn't put your runes on top of each other. You should separate them a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone does that, so.
Oh, it is just a single rune. The eye was a
Okay.
delusion in that regard.
Yeah,
So
we got bamboozled.
a little bit of debated for that, but now it looks like another retreat, drawing 1, getting another, or not drawing 1 for the dreaming tree and a channel. So getting some runes. I think this game is looking already different. Definitely going a little bit gamer. I think we're going to be getting closer to that time warp territory. Not going to make the biggest difference as it stands since it's still early game in terms of points, 3 to 4 points respectively. Once these guys start hitting that 5-point mark, that's when time warp starts to make a difference. Time warp on 2 go up to 7, or even a time warp on 1 go up to 6, and then on the following turn you could try push forward, but it's still tricky. I mean, ideally 6 with a time warp would be the winning play, but we'll see if that ends up mattering later on. And geez, Leroy, so many cards. How many cards does she have? I'm seeing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 maybe cards I'm counting.
11, 12, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what do you do?
You don't want to play
She's
Progress
still,
Day off. That's probably for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
She
can put
just
that card
sends
in
it.
the back for now. Maybe she's counting the Kathy and Rain.
She's gonna
triggers.
catch and rain. She's gonna catch and rain.
2, 4, 6, 8. Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8 total. So they're leaning towards it. She has Falling Stars at the forefront, so trying to maybe decide. But Falling Stars doesn't have ideal targets again, like
no,
she did
right
before.
now it's terrible.
It would have to be another 4 might unit, which never feels good. It feels like a bit of an overcommitment. Sometimes it works out in your favor though. You really want to time it right. This situation doesn't seem to be that moment though. You know, Leroy, I'm curious why we never see any of these players writing any notes. You think even though it's in the rules, players aren't really going to be taking notes at big events?
I don't know. Is it like on other TCGs? Do people take notes like on Magic?
It's
or...
not allowed. Oh, on Magic it's allowed, but on most TCGs you're not allowed to take notes. So Riftbound was a little bit interesting decision to allow that.
Yeah, I think people should take notes. That's for sure.
Okay.
If they can. The thing is, you have to learn to take notes because it goes a bit fast and it's like a game that is really good to take notes is Pokemon.
Okay.
It's really easy because you got the turn that goes on and you got your move that you expected and then what the opponent did. And it's so easy to reflect on it and to adapt for the late game.
Yeah, I can see that,
Oh.
because if you're sitting there writing, let's say you play Sabotage and you're writing every card in your opponent's hand, that's going to eat away a lot of time. Potentially even get, not a judge call, but if it goes into rounds, you know it's because you were kind of overdoing it on the notes department. But she's thinking deeply. She's trying to find a winning line because somehow she was on the play, but GOAT seemingly has taken the driver's seat. 4 points. Full battlefield control, has a unit in the base. Go.
I think the Katian run is good, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
The only problem is that the Poro is making you recycle one more. But what you got else?
Yeah, let's
Kaisa
think
plus
about it, because the
Void.
Cathian Rain does how much damage total? It's 6 triggers of 2, right?
Yeah. So you can totally kill. That's 2 on Kaisa, 2 on the guy, and then 1 on the Poro.
Yeah.
And they got no defense. It's not like you have to anticipate some buff. Like the one that we talked about with the 2 Watchers, where completely messed up and targeted the wrong one on the
Yeah, we've seen some interesting plays today, but it looks like she finally came to a decision, leaning towards an accelerated Kaiser. Looks to be most likely, but accelerated Kaiser into the Dreaming Tree doesn't feel terrible. If Go is indeed completely tapped out, that could be a fair play, but how are you dealing with the start tip peak battlefield? Because unless there was a Darius in hand, there's not even enough runes for that. That would be a total of 5 runes, or total 10 runes, 5 runes each for those cards. And Go's just sitting there pondering like, what is she really thinking about? You got all those cards in
you
hand.
use the Void Ray, the Void Seeker. On the Kaisa, and then you conquer with.
I like that.
Okay.
You should
She
have
just
enough
sends it.
runes. She sends it a Cathian
She's panicking.
Rain.
She's panicking. The poor girl. Oh, hey, Ita. Wakey.
So, I mean, everything goes down. The signature spell from Kaiser. You do have to recycle a lot, right? Because the Cathian Rain costs 3 power. So 2 with Kaiser. So you're still going to be recycling 3 total. So from, what'd you have? 8 total down to 5. So it does come at a hefty cost.
Yeah.
And they're making sure she didn't drop anything. So picking those 3 cards. So it does 1 with Kaiser. You still have to recycle the whole 3. So 3 down to the bottom. So paid the full cost. Now you have to choose targets. But it's pretty obvious because the whole battlefield gets deleted. There's 2 runes at the ready for the opposing Kaiser. Is there anything she could do besides another retreat? I don't think so.
No. There's only retreat. Just be careful to not to declare all of them and to not declare 2 on the Poro.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I thought. I was like, she declared only 5. Don't mess up. Do not declare 2 on the Poro because you're gonna have to recycle 1 more for no reason.
Okay, so did decide, got the Cathian Rain off, and then finishes out the turn. So optimizing the full rune use. You love to see it, of course, but she's still a bit behind. Not too behind, but let's see. We just see the Darius pick up.
They messed up again because they said that she had 8 runes and she actually had 9.
Yeah, way more than 8.
So yeah, they're messing up a bit. That doesn't help with following the thing.
Yeah, usually when we're on our tournaments, right, Leroy, we can see it in the tabletop simulator, so it's a little bit more
that's so much
difficult
easier
seeing
to
it
see.
this way.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying at one point they gotta do a Yu-Gi-Oh mod with the creatures, the units that are like showing on the battlefield with digital animation, like the whole stuff.
That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Yeah.
And one of the best mine cards just got picked up for the female Kaiser, so able to get off a Watcher is going to be quite helpful. I mean, I'm thinking Goat perhaps might have a Void Seeker since he's holding up 3, but is that even enough? Because your Darius goes down to 2 might. You would do 4 damage, so you would have 3. So Watcher would survive a Void Seeker if that is one of the last cards in his hand. And you know, I could respect her taking her time because she's on death's door. She has 1 more game, and not 1 more game, but if she loses this next game, she's going to be going down to 2 losses. And with 3 more rounds left to be played, or 2 more rounds after this one left to be played, that might be a bubbled out situation into that top 108. So this is high stakes here. There's a lot of money on the line. Even more importantly, the pride that comes with saying I day 2 the first ever National Open.
Yeah.
So let's see what she commits to.
All right. What's she gonna do now? Secretary?
Yeah, and they didn't give the Ravenbloom a +1, so they want to keep in mind you just use a spell that's a +1 on Ravenbloom.
Yeah.
So Ravenbloom's going to be going up to 3. They have to be cautious of that.
You can tell that she's stressed. She's thinking so much about each of her plays. But just imagine the progress day is a party poro. Hey, so much better.
Yeah, that was a 2 Fury runes since the Kaiser ability and targeted both Ravenblooms in the back. That's a big
good.
telltale sign. There's no spells
Yeah.
in the hand for Goat. I guess there is
He's
a
up to 2
spell.
cards. Yeah, but he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you can't target anything on a battlefield currently. Nothing of worth.
Yeah, she just have to remove everything. It's gonna run out of card quickly. You've got a shitload of card and a progress day in your hand. Just remove everything. Don't think so much.
She just wants to make sure she's sequencing everything properly. She has looks like at least 4 to 5 runes, or it might just be 3, because I think the color of her sleeves make it seem like there's cards under. So I think there's just 3 runes, like the UI is saying.
Yeah, just execrate that big guy.
He's saying, you know what? I'll chill. If you're gonna take your time thinking, I'm just gonna sit back and relax until you finish out your play. And it might be getting in her head a little bit. Doesn't like her demeanor, his demeanor rather. So look, they're saying, why haven't you counted the Ravenbloom trigger? So you actually get +2, no? 1 for the Void Seeker, 1 for the Falling Stars.
Well, +3 because she just execrate.
Oh,
it's
true.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what? He completely messed up. She's at +3.
Yeah, she's at +3, so this Hex Deck Ray won't be enough. So a big misplay.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Wow. You know, I will blame the judges. They're standing right here. We're commentating and we're finding all these slight little hiccup making a difference. I'm trying to think, because are you able to miss Ravenbloom triggers? I know you're able to miss Obelisk of Power triggers, so perhaps you are able to miss Ravenbloom triggers if you don't cleanly say +1 or show it with a dice or with one of their icons. Maybe you are able to just not gain a +1. It seems strange, but I guess reasonable.
Yeah. It was just. Yeah, Ravenbloom. Yeah, but the Obelisk of Power doesn't say May, and some players just say whatever. Okay, so they didn't reroll the Ravenbloom. They rerolled only the fact that she sent the thing to trash instantly because she was panicked. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what's happening. This game makes no sense anymore.
Yeah, the only thing that's gonna come out of this that might be a bit beneficial is that we could be ending the Kaiser Mirror match sooner than later with Goat coming out ahead. Cause a little finicky type of plays.
She's got a lot more cards to play with right now. It still has only the Katian Rain in his hand because he played the X-Tech Ray on the 5-mile Ravenbloom student that is still killed. I'm so
Yeah, it definitely had 5 might with those 3 spells on top of the base might, so it would have still survived. Not only survived, but you would have actually you would have the same points since she just conquered, but you'll have the ability to go up to the other
No, because
battlefield. So up
we
to
are one turn
5.
later. We are one turn later now. So she would
Oh,
be
okay.
at no, because she would have that and she would have conquered. She would be at 6 right now.
Wow, that makes such a big difference. So it looks like Alan's saying it is a mandatory trigger, so they should have perhaps retroactively give it to her because
Can we
those
call
are
them?
mandatory.
Can we call them?
Yeah, let's
Is there
call
a
a
phone
hotline
number?
all the way to China. And you know, they're trying their best. Well, I mean, it is the National Open and these plays really matter, but it looks like Go getting the benefit of the doubt, or the benefit of this situation. So she does go up to 5, but she should be at 6 or even more than that. At least 6 for sure.
No, it's not only if they have rank king. You can do it anyway.
Yeah, it does at the end of the day, does come to the players. You have to be able to keep your own board state. You can't rely on the judges because everyone else on the floor doesn't have a judge at their disposal this directly. So sometimes you have to be able to do it on your own. That's what separates champions from just regular high-level players. A champion, we'll see it tomorrow on day 2. They're not going to be missing any trigger, especially as ideal and as important and impactful as a Ravenbloom trigger. So sometimes you just have to be so locked in, so many reps that those are just muscle memories. You don't even think about Ravenbloom triggers. You're just auto in your head increasing every spell. But it looks like an Acathian Rain. Choose all your targets, everything out the window. So another Acathian Rain.
Yeah, but now she's got a lot of accelerates. I think she will be able to retake that. And yeah, and now she knows he doesn't have anything else. So she can play freely, kind of.
Yeah, I think so as well. There's a lot of potential accelerated like units. Like we're seeing the double Darius. If she had 10 mana, that would be a heck of a play.
Yeah.
But it looks like she just has 6 manas to utilize right here, right now. So that's just enough for one Darius. Maybe the Stupefy/Cleave combo we've been seeing from these Kaiser players. And I will say that's a little bit of BM. A little bit of BM coming out from GOAT. Because he's kind of saying like, oh man, hurry up, right?
He knows that she's pressured and so on.
Yeah, he is low-key in my opinion. He's accepted his fate. No, but Bladvoka, he's winning. I think he's just saying like she's slow playing. Like to him in his eyes, she's kind of slow playing a bit. But she's just a little bit pressured right now.
Yeah, she's completely panicked. Just play your Darius. Just play you play your Darius. You play your Potiporo. You get this. You get this, sweetie. Just don't give him any points.
Yeah, I mean she does have the Darius. Let's see. She's saying no cards in hand. She's not in a bad position. You rarely see someone with so many cards with this kind of discrepancy versus each other. Like cards in hand is insane difference. You usually okay, Darius plus the Poro does take it down. Let's see what they end up drawing. A cleave. That's past the turn go. Actually, at least you can cleave. You're hopeful for the Darius.
Yeah. And that's gonna be a draw.
Yeah, I hope he realizes that these guys have to get it together. You just cleaved on the Dreaming Tree. It will be a draw. He's drawing. I'm hoping he's drawing. He did.
If it's an accelerate, he wins, by the way.
I didn't get to see it. He flashed it. Was it an accelerated? Was it a Darius? Perhaps it was the Kaiser. It's going to be a falling star. That's still a very fortunate top deck. But
okay, so he has to recycle 2, by the way.
Oh, it's mandatory 2, right? You have to pick a target, or does it die from the first?
Hey, he's not recycling.
Wait, I thought it dies. Doesn't it die from targets are first and then you resolve?
Yeah, you target first. So
Okay.
if he targets 2 times,
Wow.
yeah, but he didn't recycle. He's cheating. He's blatantly cheating.
Yeah,
I hate this guy.
These are the intricacies, the intricacies, the intricacies in Riftbound. Targeting is first before the resolution of these plays. So having deflag, you're forced to target, unless you target your own creature, your own unit. Maybe he did that.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, yeah, he didn't even recycle one. I think.
No, he had to recycle at least one. I think he chose Pouty Poro one,
yeah.
Noxious Hopeful the other. So we'll give him that for now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, and that's an interesting card. Sky Splitter doing 5 damage. Let me pull that up. We don't get to see too often Sky Splitter on a
It's
Kai'Sa.
expensive. Yeah, it probably targeted Hopeful, yeah, most likely. But now I'm so cheering for her because that Raven Bloom thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
And it will be a Sky Splitter coming out, so doing a total 5 damage to a unit on the battlefield. And it does ready the Darius, but wait a second. The spell's energy cost is reduced by the highest might, so he ended up playing it for 2 costs. But wouldn't Sky Splitter kill the Hopeful before you go in anyways?
Yeah, but she's panicked and she's playing really fast, and she's so stressed.
Yeah, I think this is a tense situation, but I think it's tense for both of these players. Goat not feeling the best. He's ahead. He has the 7 points. One more game and he's going to be closing out round 6. A Fallen Star, the double target on the Darius, but you don't have a follow-up play. You're passing it back.
Yeah,
is there
she's
an
good.
accelerated
She's got
queue?
again. Yeah, she's got both Watcher and Darius.
But you can't play both.
No, you can't play both.
Oh,
no,
but next turn,
she can. Yeah, that's it. And he will definitely not be able to retake and like both battlefields.
I wonder if she should have played Darius first. I guess she's getting the draw here.
I think she doesn't have much to activate the Darius, weirdly enough.
Okay.
She's got so many super expensive cards that are completely useless.
Alright, completely exhausted out of runes. Does control 1, so Goat has to conquer Dreaming Tree. That's a Yordle. That's another Yordle, but you're running a little low on runes. That's going to be GG. In my opinion, I think she's going to be taking it.
That's too late. Let's go! Let's go!
And to give credit where credit's due, to play on this big stage where the judges are kind of hovering over you when you know thousands around the world are watching you at the same time, it can get a little nerve-wracking, but I think she's still doing good. She ended up closing out game 2. Let's see, I feel like now the little bit of nerves have been shaken off. She got to 1 game, so she's not as high pressured, knowing that she just needs to win 1 more game. So I feel like she's going to be able to think a bit more clear in this game 3.
Can she mental reset right now?
I think so. I think so. Let's see if she's able to win things out. But it is the arena's greatest, Leroy.
Yeah, you talked about it, and yeah, so this is gonna be the Void Gate on the other side. I hope that she burst out her big card. And she understood that she had to try to match up the tempo. Maybe toss in some Sprite Mother. I talked about it. Yeah, I think that's good. The matchup. The Draven that's here.
That looks like a sideboard tech coming in.
Yeah.
Unless he was mainboarding it and we didn't see all series long, but I think that Draven, just like you would for like a Mega Mech or Dr. Mundo, is such a big creature.
Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. Like with the Arena's greatest, it gets value really quickly.
And it's currently round 6. closing things out, or is currently a best of 3 series going into game 3 of the round 6 so far. So just 2 more rounds following this one, and then we're going to be able to cut to a top cut. It won't happen today, but we might know the results by today. I can't remember how the regionals were. Do you remember if the day 2 was posted? I think it gets posted tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same time anyway, so... wait, what was the question exactly? So
I think I was saying when Top Cut gets announced, like what decks made it. I think tomorrow before day 2 it gets announced.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
Oh yeah, and see that. Okay, that was well played. He didn't go on the battlefield so that she could not use the Void Seeker or whatever what she was she wanted to use. This being said, right now she can actually she could have passed again. And oh, okay, she goes for something else.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the judges are on it. She should have one for Arena's Greatest, so it should be 1-1 so far. And let's see, so she did spam out, did the Poro, and did one more 2 cost, so leaves her 1. And I think this was a good play, as you mentioned before with Goat. She withheld the Conquer with Ravenbloom because now you're able to get a double Conquer with no Void Seeker online for her.
She saw it.
Yeah. Good. I think that's absolutely a mandatory trigger. You can't miss an Arena's Greatest. There's no way.
No, they're not gonna make her roll back. No.
If she missed, no, I'm like 100% sure you can't miss an Arena's Greatest.
No, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. No.
It looks like she's looking mad, so I think they might not be giving it to her. Whoa, that's so weird.
No,
that is weird. Okay, look, they're looking at it from whoa. Arena's Greatest is mandatory.
What is
guys.
What are those judges?
The judges are absolutely
this is outrageous
wrong on this. It almost seems like
it's
they
straight
have it
up
out for her.
favoritism. It's straight up favoritism.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like they have it out for her because it 100% is. You have to gain 1 at the beginning.
They didn't
of your
say anything
turn.
for the Ravenloom. They didn't say. Okay, no, I'm so done.
Yeah, we'll try to let things relax, but I'm actually super upset at these judges as well. But we're just here. We're just trying to commentate and see what they end up doing. But that is shameful. I wish we could try to do something about it, but. And hey, Chris, is not mandatory? Wow. News to me. So there is head judge saying that it is able to get skipped. So wow. So guys, whenever you're playing Arena's Greatest, add your points. Apparently it is missable and skippable. So man, that does not feel good. You had a slight advantage, 1 point in these games, especially considering a mirror match play. It can make all the difference leading into that final 8th point. So Goat looking quite favored going forward.
Just falling start at Darius. Yeah, it doesn't say May.
I mean, neither does Obelisk though. And Obelisk is ruled that way, so maybe they're just ruling it the same way. Because Obelisk doesn't say May, you would assume it's a mandatory trigger, but you can miss the Obelisk trigger. So I'm assuming, I guess you can miss the Arena's Greatest trigger. I've never seen that happen, so I'm happy to learn it now. If you guys are heading to Houston, learn from these mistakes because the judges might be making the exact same calls that they're making here.
Hey, come on, win this. He's at 7, he can't use the Watcher.
Yeah, he's trying to decide where he can play. It looks like it's a Falling Stars. It will be a Hex deck ready to get rid of the Ravenbloom. Unless there's a couple combat tricks to just buff up the Ravenbloom and no, she's going to be taking it down to the discard.
Okay. No, there's no bracket. You could find one, but you need a VPN and knowledge of Chinese, and to find it on their sites, which we don't know where it is. So there is one probably, but good luck.
There's somewhere out there. I know everything's run through the WeChat to Riftbound. If you guys want to do some digging, most of the brackets is on the player's end, so you're gonna have to need a player ID to access that. So very few people. I know someone like George, of course, has one. But let's see what these guys do. So Stupefy on the Poro gonna be costing them a recycled power, a recycled rune for that deflect cost. He had Assault, right? So his 3/3 goes up to 6. The Void Seeker on the Void Gate did 5 damage. So effectively the Ravenblood had 1 HP. Stupefy brings the Poro down to 1. So they're looking to trade. It looks like an even trade.
She still has the next tech ray.
You gain one for the Stupefy, so it's 2-1.
Yeah. But she still has the next tech ray.
Okay.
Just send it.
Yeah, I think you're forced to. It looks like she's thinking about it. You have 1 rune at your disposal. Might as well make it count. You're going to go down to just 2 cards, but this is an important turn. And she does decide to play it. Beautifully done. Let's see if he responds with anything else to try to buff it up, but I think he's out of runes. Or not out of runes, but out of tools.
What? What again? What? That's an action. She's not dead yet? Oh no, okay. That's why. It didn't draw.
They wanted to resolve the Stupefy first.
Yeah, okay, but now she can play.
Mm-hmm.
Send it.
Yeah, but it looks like there's a Void Seeker at the end of the day anyways, but it's just going to be able to cost more resources from Go, which you sometimes want to do. I mean, you don't know for certainty that he has a Void Seeker, so you have to do the best play you can. Does deploy the Ray like we saw she was able to do before. Oh, and actually, you can't even respond. Ravenbloom's always going to die from that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also kill the Poro, but
it'll cost another rune, so not too ideal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you can win this.
Nice. I like these. I like these plays coming out from Go. He pretty much forced the other Kaiser to use all their resources on defense, right? They had 2 to 3 runes.
She still has that shit thing. She goes up to 6, so she can do Darius plus the Stupefy.
Mm-hmm. So she has enough runes, but deciding on the Kaiser Stupefy, perhaps.
Yeah.
And I like this play. Just maximize the draws. You're going to get +1. You know your opponent's completely tapped out. Perfect opportunity for this play.
I didn't see that she didn't use it yet. Okay, that's good. That's good because she can activate Darius next.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very good draw.
Did she draw?
Yeah, she drew. She drew.
No, she drew first from the. Yeah, she drew one.
Yeah, but she drew first from the Stupefy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The draw from the Stupefy is the cleave.
Exactly, making sure all these guys are playing perfectly, because this game 3, one of these guys is going to be going down 2 games. One of them is going to be progressing going forward to 5-0-1. That is a very respectable record. Okay, Hextech Ray, bring that down to, actually it's Void Gate, of course, going to be doing a total 4 damage, knocking that Kaiser out of there. Do you have an accelerated unit? It looks like either Kaiser or Darius.
No, that's the Draven. Okay. Okay, that's big.
Yeah, Draven isn't too massive right now. It has a total of 6 total might, but still enough to get over a Void Seeker even on the Void Gate, so not too bad.
I saw someone in chat saying next games are top 8. They're not. They qualify for a top 64 that is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Or the 128, since it's such a massive tournament. So Topka's going to be 128. So it's 6 rounds, but it's actually going to be 8 rounds today. So we're 2 more rounds in Swiss. Okay, so she ended up playing the Darius you talked about. So it just needs 1 more unit, just like the Raven Blue's going to get played out.
Exactly.
And feels good. Man, imagine if she had Arena's Greatest. She'll be going up to 5 points right now.
Yeah.
Or could have gone up to 5 points right now.
Oh, and she's not going to cap. She wants to let the Draven go first. The problem is that she doesn't want the Darius to be removed for free, which I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since he can go up to 10 if he doesn't have accelerate.
That stings. The Falling Star is doubling up on the targets on the Darius, so they didn't get the Conquer for her troubles. That might have set her back quite a bit. The Hopeful coming down, getting prepared for a follow-up Conquer potentially on the following turn. So go inching slightly further ahead following that turn. Let's see how the opposing Kaiser is going to be reacting. I saw the Progress Day again. She kept it in the deck. How do you feel about that, Leroy? I thought she was going to side it out.
Yeah, she should have sided it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any card would be better than that right now.
Yeah,
like, she has to know that her opponent is probably better than her, because she has to know right now that he's playing aggressively. She saw the cards, and yeah. Oh, okay, that's.
Hey, I mean, I guess. It's a draw 4, right? Draw 4 is an amazing on paper. Like, wow, I have so many cards, but look what you're doing here. So keep in mind, Ravenbloom gets +1. I hope she remembers you just used a spell. Ravenbloom goes up to 3. That could change things potentially if there's a spell coming down on Void Gate. It looks like she already skipped it. I know how strict these judges might be.
Yeah, come on, girl.
Either way, what I was trying to get out for Progress Day, that's the majority of your turn. At best, you're going to be playing a Poro, another Ravenbloom. Not likely to get rid of the Draven. So Draven's going to be going up to 5. And then the
Honestly, that's okay. If you just develop anything and it doesn't have another Falling Star, she's got the Watcher next and she can do some good things.
Okay.
So it would be good to just develop. Let him get to 6, it's fine. And then just retake everything and try to hold from there. It will be hard, but I think it's the best play possible.
Yeah, you got to play towards your outs when you can. It looks like she might not have a 2-cost unit to develop her board a little bit further. Thinking about things, potentially she's thinking about the following turn. Sometimes you want to think 1-2 turns ahead just to make sure you're having enough runes for those plays going forward. So she has Watcher. Yeah, look at that. She's counting for the following turn. She's saying if I recycle a rune here, I don't know what you would recycle for 2. Normally it's something like a Vi with a power of 1, but those Kaiser's not running that. It looks like that's a Sentry there. Yeah, and I think you hold the Ravenbloom back, right? You don't want to risk it. That Draven doing what Draven does in this Kaiser Mirror, making a difference. Up to 5, bringing that Draven total might up to 8. Now up to 9 total might. This guy playing well, not missing any triggers, making sure these judges can't call him out for anything. So 6 points is exactly where Kaiser wants to be and make it double the trouble. That is 2 Dravens, 18 total might. If there's no such thing as an unchecked power, a Watcher brings it down to just 12 might. That's still formidable. I think go pretty set to lock things out, especially considering if you have something like a Watcher the following turn.
Does she have a cleave? Because she's got Cleave and Watcher, maybe she can do something.
Okay, let's see.
Because that would be 7 plus 6, 13. Yeah, that would be 13. Yeah, but it's not tapped out. Does he have cards in hand?
He
Yeah, he
the
has
three,
three
the
cards.
three.
He has 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has a Cleave. 3, 4.
So Watcher
3,
with
6,
Cleave is
she's
what
at
you're
10.
saying, right? You go up to 10.
Yeah, and no, wait. Anyway, you go up to 5 on Raven Bloom and 7 on Watcher. And
Looks like he has some friends in the crowd cheering him on, saying, "Let's get it done." The double Draven, is it enough?
yeah,
It looks like she is in a quite problematic position, trying to find her out, saying, "I like what Leroy is saying. I hear him in my ear."
oh
He's saying,
yeah.
"Watcher."
Into falling star.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can kill one Draven. That would be good, and then you can just clean the second one.
Yeah, because there was a total 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 total runes.
Yeah.
So you
I
used
was counting.
7?
I was counting on 9 rune, and
So yeah, 8 runes.
so
for the
yeah, he's at
accelerate.
6. And now you just pummel one of them with a falling star. I think she's got 1.
Oh, she chose to split targets. It wasn't on the. Oh no! I thought he
No,
had
no, no.
played Falling. That was just the Watcher.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So she's thinking she has 2 runes available, so 2 energy, and recycle 1 for Kai's ability, 1 for the exhausted. It is a falling star, so perfect optimal plays coming out from our girl. What can she do? She's gonna be targeting she's gonna target the full Draven, but is gonna be eating a retreat, so the targets of the falling star is all for nothing. But not completely
Yeah,
wasted.
but not nothing, because she's getting control of the game
Exactly.
temporarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Draven right now has a total of 6 might, so just a simple 7 should be enough to take it down. You saw the card though that he's flickering around with. That's a Stupefy, making things 6 to 6.
Yeah, but 6 to 6 is good too, because
Yeah.
as long as if you trade, that's good enough.
Yeah, we're seeing the Ravenblue student missing a second trigger. This is devastating. I mean, you have to get with it. You know, at this situation, especially when we're talking about the National Open,
Yeah,
you can't
I mean, I
miss
can't.
these triggers.
Yeah, she's not gonna make it anyway. She's missing too many triggers and so on. Yeah.
Unless she has said it visually, unless she said it verbally, like I might have not put a dice there, but knowing these judges, if she said it verbally,
No.
yeah,
No. That's so many mandatory triggers that are.
because
Going
Ravenblue
down
should
the
have
lane.
survived or traded there, because she had 2, but +2 from the spell, so I still think it trades there, right?
No, it should have 1 because he had +1 and the -1. The thing was at 1. So
Oh, yeah. What am I
with the
talking about?
spell
The
is at
Watcher
3,
ability, yeah.
and then -1.
Absolutely. That's another bit that those things make a huge impact throughout the game, right?
Okay, so they trade here. Use Void Seeker to trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she should have like 1 more point. She should be at 6 right now.
Yeah, it should be so much closer than it seems, because right now 6 to 4.
and control of both battlefields. Oh.
Yeah, she had the ability to be a bit on top, but a Watcher of his own, gonna be conquering a core sentry nowhere near enough to get rid of that Watcher. There's no follow-up, it looks like. It looks like he's playing fast. The judges are saying, hold up, wait a minute, we can't keep up with your speed. And passing it, wait. Oh yeah, because he held he held to 7, Watcher to 8.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't hold anything.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
he
The
goes to
hopeful
se-
died. I think the girl just conceded then, right? From time or something.
Yeah,